Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you've seen and if you want to see more. Coming up, the Dolphins signed 3 more. Cronulla player has a screw loose, and this Dragons rookie wants more than one #1 shirt. So we'll start today with Wayne Bennett's new club, the Dolphins, as they look to procure signings for the 2020 season. And everyone's expecting them to make big splashy signings in their first tilt at the NRL. Now, that has to be tempered, to be fair, because you can't have a team full of superstars due to the salary caps and the strict financial regulations that the NRL run to. But the Dolphins have made 3 new signings ahead of the 2023 season. Wayne Bennett's side has signed Michael Roberts, Harrison Graham, and Valance Tiware ahead of the inaugural campaign for the Dolphins. The first player that has come on board with the Dolphins that we're going to look at is halfback Michael Roberts. He is an Australian schoolboys representative, and he's the younger brothers of West Tigers star James Roberts. He's also the nephew of former Wigan speedster Amos Roberts. Still only young, I think he's 18 years old. He's one for the future for the franchise. Next is Hooker Graham, and he has represented Queensland at the under-13s level and have played for the Wayne and Manly Seagulls in 2021. Roberts and Graham will both be on development contracts with the Dolphins. Graham is 20 years old. And finally, we have former New Zealand Rugby Union player Te Ware, who will join the club's senior squad. He has been playing at Waikato since he made his first team debut in the New Zealand's Provincial Rugby Union Championships. And Chief Executive of the Dolphins said of this, his name is Terry Reeder: "Since the Dolphins recruitment team first came together to discuss players, we have always been of a view that the squad members 21 to 30 are just as important as 1 to 10. These young players have been recruited from different backgrounds and different competitions. This underlines that we are doing extensive recruitment to build a balanced and talented roster for our entry to the 2023 NRL competition. It also adds to the work we are doing with junior development to ensure the future of the Dolphins, including a Junior Dolphins NRL Academy camp we held this week. That group of young players will always hold a place in history as attendees, as the first ever Junior Dolphins NRL training camp." So that means with the signing of Valance Tiware, that is the 3rd top flight first team squad member that they have signed for the 2023 seasons, following Felice Kafusi and Ray Stone, who have already confirmed during the last month. Progress is slow when putting out a team, but at this moment in time, there are 6 players on the books that we know of through the Dolphins franchise. So with 2 looking for the future, and 5 already on the books. So progress is slow. Hopefully it'll pick up for them so that they can make a proper tilt at the NRL in 2020. So an interesting story about the toughness of training when it comes to pre-season in the NRL, as the Cronulla Sharks have been back in training for a couple of weeks now and have gone about their physical activities, and so much so that a tiny screw has fell out of the mouth of Ronaldo Mulitalo in his wrestle with new Cronulla recruit Cameron McInnes, who I brought up first. During a wrestling session last week, McInnes was paired with Mulitalo, when the former Dragon's intensity and strength somehow forced the screw to drop out of his teammate's jaw. Mulitalo broke his jaw in 2 places last season and required 10 screws, 6 in the right of his face, 4 in his left, to hold it in place. Pictured here holding the screw, everyone knows how Cam is and how intense he is, Mulitalo told the Herald. It was a drill when you need to fight to get to your front. I was on top and Cam did this full 360 and knocked my jaw. I didn't think anything of it until afterwards when I stood up and I could feel something in my mouth. I had eaten a Snickers bar and thought it was a peanut. I tried to pick up at what I thought it was, the nut, but then I realised it was a little screw from my jaw. There was blood all over. I ended up putting the screw in a jar and putting it in my locker. It's still in my locker. I had to see the doc and got my jaw x-rayed again. I was lucky it was one of the screws in the middle, which wasn't holding my jaw together. Cam was laughing when I told him. It's good when you have guys like him and Del Finucane together. They're both tough, and we need some toughness in our group. And they brought that straight away. McInnes said he has seen players lose teeth during accidents in contact training, but never a screw from a player's jaw. Whenever you wrestle, everyone goes hard, and Ronnie certainly goes hard, McInnes said. I bumped him accidentally, and when I saw him afterwards, he said he was holding a screw and said, "This is from us wrestling." He told me I accidentally clipped him. I was more worried about his jaw, but he said he was alright. It was a first for me. I didn't think it was possible to knock out a screw. I'd seen teeth come out, but never a screw. McInnes also signed with Finucane, having arrived at the Shah from the Dragons and Storm respectively, and are known to train with a finals-like intensity. The former Sydney Rooster and Dragons rake missed out all last season due to a ruptured ACL, and is buoyed by the fact that his knee problem has not flared up and since not given him any problems. Initially signed up as a lock and also backup dummy half to Blake Briley, Innes said he was prepared to play as a number 13 and the part-time rake. Having McInnes at lock will allow Finucane to move into the front row, even though there is a little difference between the two roles in the model game. Brails is a young hooker, best young hooker in the game, and the next few years he'll move into the conversation of being the best hooker in the game, McInnes said. If I get thrown there at times during the season, I'm happy to do that, but my focus is on that middle role. To continue his rehabilitation during the off-season after the anterior cruciate ligament injury, McInnes travelled to Canberra during the week to meet with knee specialist Tim McGrath and continue to tick all the boxes before his highly anticipated return in his new club's colours. So that's good for him, that he's getting everything looked after and he's seeing the right people to go again this season, as last season was a complete write-off due to that injury. Wish him luck at Cronulla, but I wish you luck to his teammates when he goes in hitting that hard. And finally today, it's all about a rookie, as Tyrone Sloan of the Dragons has set his sight not just to be one number one, but two number ones in different jerseys next season. The 19-year-old made his NRL debut in round 15 and played in another 4 games. He finished the year as Dragons' first choice fullback and he's hoping he'll start in the same position next year. Sloan is in the mix with Cody Ramsey to wear the St George Illawarra number 1 jersey next season. He told the Sydney Morning Herald that coach Anthony Griffiths has stressed that both of them that they try and be the best defensive fullbacks in the game. Sloan admits he didn't quite understand the defensive role as a fullback, on how the fullback plays when he first stepped up to the NRL, but that has since changed. When I came into the first grade, I didn't have much of a clue about my defensive splits, but the coach said, you need to be the best defensive person in the team, and that doesn't mean tackling, but organising guys into position, he said. Something of a lot of rookies have been doing during the off-season is putting on size. Roosters duo Sam Walker and Joseph Suaalii have put on around about 5Ks, and Sloan is also in that boat. The young man revealed he actually put on 13 kilograms since this time last year. My goal was to come back heavier. I've had a good off-season, he said. I came in at 75 kilograms last pre-season, and I'm now at 88 kilograms. I want to get to 90 kilograms. I feel stronger. What we get fed of training, but the club is always making sure we're eating more. We have a few Sloaney smoothies, and I'm always making the protein shakes for the boys. As well as a Dragons #1 shirt, Sloan is working towards the Indigenous All-Stars #1 jersey, but he has some hot competition. Rabbitohs superstar Latrell Mitchell has worn the jersey in the last 2 seasons, but his 6-week suspension for a high shot on Joey Manu means he'll have to watch on from the sidelines this time around. The likes of Alex Johnson, Dane Laurie, Will Kennedy, Jaden Campbell and Reece Walsh will be in the conversation with the Dragons duo Sloan and Ramsey. I'm a Koori boy, a proud Wiradjuri man. It would be a dream to come true, Sloan said. I grew up watching Matty Bowen and Jonathan Thurston. I idolised those guys, and I still do. To play in that game, which will be in Sydney for the first time, it would be great. I apologise if I got those pronunciations completely and utterly wrong. We have the Indigenous round, and we have the All-Stars game, but we could do even more to celebrate Indigenous culture. Be it more camps or more education. My nan raised me since I was 2 months old, and she taught me a lot of my Indigenous heritage. That is a goal, for sure. So Sloan has set his targets high when it comes to the All-Stars and Indigenous and even his club's #1 jerseys, as he wants to be in the conversation at least when it comes to nut-cracking time. Potential is there, must admit, but it's going to be a tough ask to get into the Indigenous side, which I'm sure he will do one day if his progression continues. But I think it's a bit more of an easier straight shot between him and his competition for the St George Illawarra fullback jersey. 2022 will be a big season for this gentleman, and if he has put on the body mass as intended, he might go some, and St George might be one of the dark horses that come around every single year. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, and also clicking that notification bell for any up-to-date videos that will be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts are of this video. Will Tyrell Sloan be the #1 for St George, and will he face an easier battle than we think to get that #1 Indigenous shirt? Do you think that the Sharks are going in tough to put a disappointing season behind them in this season's pre-season? Or are they just hitting each other for hitting each other's sake, as rugby league players do? And finally, what about our first video? More signings for the Dolphins. Is Wayne Bennett putting together his selections, or is it just Neil Musser this time? It's a difficult one, as it's still over a year away before they enter the competition. We'll probably see more and more signings coming throughout the season, as it is open season at this time. But I digress, and you tell me in the comments below about thoughts are. Who would be an ideal fit for the Dolphins? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share the video, tag mates in, and also get the word out for rugby league. I'm trying my best. But in the meantime, stay safe, all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.